Welcome in, everybody. If you guys could go ahead and give this a retweet, send this to wherever you know the legacy community is. I just dropped it in our Discord, um, trying to get as many people in this AMA as possible. Definitely want to get as many questions in today that we can and just share about everything that's going on with legacy at the moment. All right, we are at 2 o'clock. Go ahead and send out any last minute tweets. Drop it in your Telegram groups, the legacy Telegrams. Let everybody know that we are about to get started. We are recording this, so if at any time you guys have to jump off, it's not a big deal. You guys can come back and listen to the recording. Really excited to get started here. I just want to introduce myself. So obviously, I am doing this live from the Diamond Atlas account. My name is Tim. I'm the social media coordinator and the community manager for Diamond Atlas. So if you guys are inside our Discord group or have responded to me on the Twitter page, it's me that you're talking to, in case you guys were wondering. We are also behind the governing body for Legacy called Liquid Legacy. So any questions about Liquid Legacy, I'm going to do my best to field those. But I'm the social media coordinator. I'm going to do my best to answer any questions that you guys have outside of when is staking and when is staking coming and all that. I should be able to cover most of it. So I'm really excited to share about that. Next, I want to introduce some of the projects that are building on Legacy Network. And these are going to be the guys that are going to be sharing about why they're building on Legacy, what made them excited about Legacy, and hopefully you guys can see why they chose Legacy and why we're really excited about everything that's happening with Legacy Network. And I'm excited to see that Justin just hopped on as well. So it's going to be a great AMA. So right now, I just want to have each of our speakers take a moment to introduce yourselves, share about your project and what your position is with the project. So Planet Beast, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Hey guys, how you doing? Providing clarity here, runner of Planet Beast, and yeah. Planet Beast is a right. Just explain the project first, right?
Yeah, just share about the project and what your position is.
Excellent. Yeah. Planet Beast is a NFT game where you can play as 6 different elemental creatures. Basic story premise is a portal opened up in the sky, and a bunch of different beasts came on together on the same planet. The premise of the game is you're traversing through the planet, not only fighting other types of beasts, but different elemental creatures that are also on the planet, in a fight for survival to collect resources, craft them into items to make yourselves stronger, and as well as we're looking for a player versus player arena sometime shortly in the future after launch as well. Fun NFT game with our own token, our own type of ecosystem and utility. And our main goal is to partner with other projects and integrate them into our game and have us be integrated into theirs and vice versa to be a new means of helping projects get together and collaborate.
Love it. That's awesome. Bigfoot Cryptoids, do you want to go next?
Sure. Thanks. I appreciate it. Glad to see everybody joined us today. This is a great group. So Bigfoot Cryptoids is intended to be kind of a clever, funny kind of project. Obviously, we're releasing a few different creatures, variations on the Bigfoot character. The project itself is meant to kind of poke a little fun, but also explore cryptoids and some of that, unknown, fantastical, paranormal type of stuff. But we'll get into that as the community grows. In the meantime, we also are going to have a game. Ours will be a little different in that it's a single player, first person perspective. You're out in the forest as a Bigfoot, having to keep our identity secret from the hunters who are trying to track you down, capture, or kill you. We also have an internal token, which will kind of be a reward within the project. You can earn them, we can give them away, you play to earn within the game. But one of our biggest features is that we're going to use a large portion of the revenues to create a staking wallet where we will be staking those funds back into Legacy in an attempt to earn, again, those staking rewards, which will then be distributed back to the community at various percentages based on whether you just own an NFT, you'll be entitled to some of those rewards. If you earn some coins and want to use those to represent additional staking rewards, you could do that as well. So again, really big into the legacy ecosystem, trying to give some of those additional rewards back to the community. But we're hoping, like I said, the project is fun, clever. People are going to enjoy it. We've got additional drops planned in the future with different cryptid creatures. We'll continue to build on top of the original game that gets released. And then we'll also petition the community to see what type of things they want to do. For example, initially when we launch, we've got partnerships with 2 eco-friendly projects where we'll be giving back to try and offset carbon footprints and do a little good with some of that revenue. We've got some other things planned, but certainly we can go into those details a little bit later.
Wow, I absolutely love that. You got a project that sounds fun. It's going to be interesting. Bring a few laughs to the community, and it sounds like you're trying to do some good with it as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to check that out.
Great.
Next up, I'm looking at my screen. It looks like World Token. I believe we have Ben from World Token. If you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and share your position with World Token and a little bit about your project.
Sure. I'm Ben. I'm the founder of World Token. Pretty much for the marketplace for NFTs, goods and services, digital mostly for now. We want to add physical sales to the marketplace at a later point in time, but pretty much anything and everything to do with marketplace transactions, things like that, we're trying to be the main place for it all.
Awesome. Yeah, so it sounds like the NFT projects that are being built in the games, you're going to be the place to go for all that.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're going to try to partner up with pretty much everybody else here.
Love it. Love it. Great. So next up, we've got Lazy Monsters on the line. Lazy Monsters, if you guys want to go ahead and unmute yourselves and share a little bit about your project and about yourself.
Yo, what's up? Can everyone hear me? Yeah, okay, I'm speaking. Nice. So basically, the whole project on Lazy Monsters is we're basically a gambling platform, kind of like Squid Game, where basically you would vote on which monster would win the race. Kind of a similar project like horse racing and betting, but instead we got monsters which then have like a random number generator and random effects that will happen. So, and then there's a pool, which obviously generated for buybacks on the platform. So we take a certain percentage fee.
Awesome. Yeah, I loved it. I loved your guys' trailer that you created. And when it came out, it made me laugh. And after seeing that, I definitely had to go out and mint a couple of Lazy Monsters myself.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great trailer. We have more coming as well, and lots of bullish on Legacy in general. So it's good.
Awesome. Looking forward to hearing more about it. I just invited Justin to speak. I don't know if he got the request yet, but whenever I see that happen, I'll let him introduce himself as well. But we'll go ahead and move ahead. We're going to get to some more questions for our panel here. But first, I want to mention that we have a giveaway for 100,000 Legacy. We're going to give that away a little later into the show, and that is going to be courtesy of In the Making, at In the Making. He's an absolute Legacy legend, so make sure you go ahead and give him a follow. And actually, we've got Justin up here. So let's go ahead and, Justin, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and share a little bit about yourself. I'm sure everybody's very familiar with who you are, but yeah, take it away.
Hey, is my mic working?
Yep, we've got you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm Justin, co-founder of Legacy, and yeah, I just wanted to say, like this is exactly what legacy and decentralization is all about. Bunch of community projects getting together and talking with the community and setting it up on your own. We had nothing to do with this, and so it's almost it's a little taken back to kind of see this, and it's an honor to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, I know for myself, I'm really a big fan of like the decentralization focus that you guys have. For Diamond Atlas, for anybody that doesn't know, it originally started out as Legacy Finance, and it was, if I remember correctly, it was a governing body that you guys had put together that you were originally going to control, but in the spirit of decentralization, you guys turned it over to Diamond Atlas Capital to run it because you were fans of some of the things that we were doing and thought we'd do a good job with it. So yeah, I really love that focus there.
Yeah, it just seemed right. You guys were, in the right place to do it, and as you said, like we can't control everything, otherwise we're not decentralized, right? So, yeah, it kind of just worked out, and very excited to see that come to fruition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I guess with that, I should share a little bit about Liquid Legacy in case anybody's not familiar. Diamond Atlas is going to be running one of the governing bodies. We've renamed it to Liquid Legacy. And what we're going to be offering is liquid staking. And if you're not familiar with that, it's going to be staking similar to the mainnet staking that we currently have available. You're still going to earn the 28% that's paid out in USDL. And if you're not familiar with that, that's the stablecoin and gas token for the legacy network. But when you stake your legacy with us, what's going to happen is when you stake it, you're issued out a 1-to-1 derivative called S Legacy. And you'll be able to use that S Legacy just like Legacy on the Legacy network. And you'll be able to earn further yield with that and participate in all DeFi platforms as they become available. So that's going to be Liquid Legacy. And next up, just wanted to announce the winner of the 100 USDL for everybody that retweeted the original Diamond Atlas tweet. And I am happy to announce that the winner is actually on the call with us. And the name is at Xana Online. I think I said that right. XANAA_online. So congratulations. If you can go ahead and DM your legacy wallet to us, we will go ahead and get that sent over to you probably shortly after this call is ended. So really excited to announce that. So next up, let's get into some questions. I want to start off. Actually, I'll start off with a question for Justin because I want to be respectful of your time. I don't know if you have anything else going on, but we had a question from our Discord from @CryptoAttorney. And he said, there are some good and reliable chains out there. Beyond having impressive speed, innovative setup, and public marketing, what is the team doing to recruit projects for the chain? Are there any specific efforts being made to convert projects to the chain? And are there any specific efforts underway right now to recruit potential projects for the chain? He said, I'm aware of the big picture, but I'm still curious about the what insight you can provide for the small picture. Do you have any feedback about that for Crypto Attorney, Justin?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, that's a good question. So there's, I guess I should talk about a little bit of the big picture because that's kind of how we're trying to track projects in. So for me personally, he's saying there's a lot of options out there, which there are, but I feel like they don't tick all the boxes that Legacy does. There are a few, and we're a fan of them as well. But there'll be ones with high speed, low cost, but it's centralized. I think you guys can figure out who we're talking about. There's just like there's so much to it, and I feel like our advantage has always been the overall plan. And I think that's been our competitive advantage and what we're trying to use to lure existing projects and new projects to the chain. Besides, we got the developers fund that we're always trying to, push out and support the community with. Yeah, I mean, a big thing I think that we haven't touched on in the past so much would be, most projects are software developers' passion projects, which is great, and we need that, and it's fun and it's awesome. But we built this for businesses and institutions in mind as well, and I think that's how we really future-proof it and bring in, not just existing projects, but institutions, businesses, and, kind of the whole thing. And with businesses, they need reliability, they need stable gas to properly budget, they need a fair open market. They can't come into a chain where the team holds majority of the tokens and power. So yeah, I mean, we built it, for even some of my companies as well. And in the beginning, we had a chance to build something pure and make it everything we could hope for in a network without any compromise. So that was kind of how we got started, and that's kind of, our vision has been, if we build something that we would want to build on, other people would want to build on it as well. And that's kind of, our vision.
Yeah, 100%. That makes sense. Like if you build something, as somebody that wants to develop their own project that you're excited to build on, why wouldn't anybody else?
Exactly.
And from my personal perspective, I also think the future, from everything I've seen at the moment, it kind of seems like we might go towards a future in cryptocurrency or crypto assets where it's a multi-chain world where it's not, just one chain to rule them all. It's
Exactly.
everybody bridging across each other. So, that's kind of the perspective I've taken with that.
Us as well. I mean, like we've maintained the position from the start that, we're not here to compete with everybody. We're here to work with everybody and build each other up. And I think that's always been the best way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So, and on the similar line, I'd like to hear from some of the projects here. One of the common questions that came up was with so many other L1s out there, what made some of you guys choose Legacy over some of the other names that are out there in terms of building for L1? Planet Beast, did you want to take that first? Or actually, it looks like Lazy Monster's got it.
I can do it if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Firstly, I'll go for it. So firstly, like Justin, I call him the mad genius, right? So is Wes. I love Wes as well. It's like, look at all these other layer ones, and they're not truly decentralized. And like coming from like some family problems when like my family lost their house and stuff, like because of the financial crisis and things, it's like I don't want to work with like say like I don't want to mention networks where it's like they hold like 70-60% of the supply and can just dump it, and it's like it doesn't have that family feel. It's like if I want to message Justin, I can talk to Justin on how to develop the project. And like he can help me with actual partnerships. Where if you build in other networks, which I'm trying to avoid saying, it's almost like they don't really care about you and they're just kind of using you to build more money into their network. And then eventually, like, kind of because they have a big, like, large amount of the supply, they might just, like, I don't want to say sell, but they might want to do something like that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you started off with the decentralization, because I think everybody on this call thinks that's a massive part of it, and also that direct feeling. It's one of the things with Diamond Alice that we kind of pride ourselves is when we work with a project. It's not just providing capital. We also want to provide expertise, and we want to work with them one-on-one to help share about their projects. So yeah, I absolutely love that. Did anybody else have anything different that they wanted to share about why they chose Legacy? Or?
Yeah. Similar to Lazy Monsters, I kind of feel the same way. Like, if I built on any of the other like big chains, I think there's very little chance I'm actually going to be able to speak with anybody on the core team who has created it. They're just, entities and conglomerates. They're not like how Lazy Monster said, a family project. Like even to this day, every time like Justin or West like message me, I'm like, oh, celebrity, they answered me. That's so cool, you know. But yeah, the fact that they're so community focused, they go out of their way to make sure that this entire blockchain is for us, and like in the spirit of decentralization, as they always say, not for them. Um, I wouldn't see any other choice otherwise, anywhere else to build. A space where not only can you be heard and receive feedback from the exact people you want it from, um, but all the bells and whistles of a nice chain, right? Fast speed, low cost, all the things that we know and love about Legacy. So yeah, for me, there's just no other place to be.
Awesome. Ben, World Token, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, the communication. So usually it's like dev support that we have questions or we find bugs or stuff like that. At least with us, we can, similar to what Brandon said, we can ask Justin, he'll get back to us, and we can actually get support. On certain other large chains, if you try to message, right, like, oh, hey, I'm having issues with the gas limit or something like that, you're kind of on your own. So at least here you have something like that, and then on top of that, they do have a similar stablecoin mechanism, right? And as a marketplace, I still think stablecoins are going to be a big part of the future. So I wanted to build on something that has like a native stablecoin.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's massive. That pairing of not just the legacy token but the USDL token built in natively is it's pretty brilliant in my opinion. But yeah, it sounds like a lot of glowing reviews for Justin and what he's created. See, Bigfoot, you got yourself unmuted. Did you have something else to add?
Oh yeah, well, so going back far enough, I was initially attracted to Legacy by the technical features, but as Providing Clarity said, I kind of went all in once I got to meet some of the community. I mean, when you combine the two as a project, as an NFT project, the speed and the low cost and the stable coin and the focus that they had on what they were trying to achieve was all really attractive, especially when you compare it to something like an ETH or a Solana or something like that. But then once I got into it and started to meet up with some of the guys on Legion and actually got to speak with Wes and Justin briefly, it just kind of there was no question after that. It not only is the chain going to be innovative and got a lot to offer in and of itself, but the community is just so great to be a part of, that for a developer you can't help but just be attracted to all the other projects and the core of the project itself.
Yeah, absolutely. The legacy community is definitely one of a kind. Like the Telegram group, the memes, and all that. It cracks me up every time I enter in there. And they've all been incredibly helpful for me personally. If I ever had questions or feedback, they've been great for getting all that settled. So the next question I have, I think will have some interesting answers that I'm personally interested to hear. How did you find out about Legacy initially? And whoever wants to go first can go ahead and take themselves off mute.
I
Lazy
can go
Monsters?
first. Oh yeah, I can go first, but it's a short answer. So, Well Token told me, he was like, "Look, this crazy guy called Justin. He's building a network," and I was like, "Okay, mate, we've been friends for a few years. Let's do this." So yeah, that was it.
Love it. And now you guys both have projects on Legacy, so that's great to see. Bigfoot, what you got?
Yeah, well, that's perfect timing because Lazy Monsters was actually one of the earlier NFT projects that I got into. So I got to meet a bunch of people there. I was starting to hear about Legacy via the fact that their season 2 was going to come out on Legacy. And that's when I started to just research more, get more involved. But I actually, I was turned on to Legacy by the Lazy Monsters project. So it just fell right into place.
Wow, so World Token told Lazy Monsters, you found Lazy Monsters, and you got in. World Token, what's the origin story here? How'd you hear about Legacy?
Oh, during our initial launch, like in the first month or so, um, was it Bardis? I think he kept following up with me. He was like, "Oh, I wanted to introduce you to Legacy Network. Do you think you can deploy there and stuff?" And when as things got a little bit less busy, he did continue to follow up, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah." So and then eventually he did get me and Justin in a room, and then we started talking, and then I started to really look into the Legacy Network, and that's how I decided, yeah, we'll get on.
Love that. I mean, so anybody listening, I mean, if you're trying to recruit people to the Legacy Network, just keep following up. Timing is everything. Planet Beast, did you have any thing different, or who brought you into Legacy?
I feel kind of ashamed. I don't remember, like I've been in Legacy for so long, and it's been one of my core, like, identities and one of the projects I love the most. Even specifically for this AMA, I went all the way back to the beginning of my Twitter. And I don't know, I couldn't find what made me get into it. But I know that the like first tweet I had that I could see was the Legion responding back to me. And essentially, my journey was, making a Twitter account just to help explain things to people and help people out. Hence the name. That's just, what I like to do. But I also like wanted to make a bigger impact and be part of something bigger. And I know something that's already huge. It's really hard to do that. So I was on a search to find something that was really worthwhile, that was, underrated, currently in development, that I knew could become something great. And like I want to be a part of that. And one way or another, I found out about Legacy. Every single aspect of the entire project just sounded amazing to me. Every question I had was answered, and it just made more and more sense. And yeah, the rest is history.
Oh, that's awesome. So we'll chalk that up to the Legion, just being the Legion on that one. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's great to hear. So I actually got introduced prior to joining Diamond Alice from Space 10X. They had just mentioned that it was a quick layer one, everything was looking great, and I think it was shortly after a bunch of Justin and Wes had decided to burn a bunch of tokens, and I was like, wow, that's massive, and that got me interested, and ever since then I just kind of stuck with it and been a big fan ever since. So the next question, and I think I already know the answer from most of you, but what was the biggest selling point for you to choose Legacy? I feel like a lot of you guys have already touched on it, but I'd be interested to hear if there was anything specific.
Yeah, kind of similar to what I was saying earlier, that a lot of these other chains are just, they won't contact you, they won't get in touch with you, they won't help you. Like that's kind of like a fact. The community development fund was really interesting to me. The fact that, you know, they could have done anything with those tokens, but they decided to perpetually stake them to support oncoming projects. That just says so much. And as just being someone who wanted to build something, i.e., Planet Beast, that was a way for me to potentially have that dream become a reality. They literally set this in place for people like me and others, and as I said, including business institutions, um, to build. And that was it. That sold me. So it's a really good selling point. It sells itself.
Yeah, awesome. That personal touch seems to mean the world to you guys. World Token, did you have something else to add to that?
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty much the same answers we gave before of why we chose Legacy. It's the people that you can talk to. It feels like something we can actually build on. We can get help with, and of course, the stable coin. And honestly, I wish more people knew about like USDL and everything, because I mean, look at Anchor grew like crazy with what was it, 19.5% APY on stables. Like it's got higher. Well, USDL has got higher. So I think for me, one of the other main points that really attracted me was, this thing has legs to grow, and I was like, if I'm gonna add another chain, I can add one of these big chains and be part of the hype and throw and waste a bunch of money on that. or I can make like a bet of conviction and get in early on something I think has legs to grow.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm happy you brought up the USDL because that is going to be our next question. Um, as I think it's also a great question to have asked with our recent winner of the 100 USDL. But how do you guys plan on integrating USDL? Like, how does it play a role in your projects? I know it's still early days and we're still waiting for a few things to come out. But if you guys have any uses that are, what are your plans for the USDL? Love to hear some of those.
So on our like gambling platform, technically, you'd be able to use USDL to obviously gamble with. Same with the other currencies on the legacy network.
Awesome. Love that. World Token, did you have something else?
Yeah. So for USDL and most other stables, we were gonna allow people to get banner ads and everything on the platform. So that's paid in USDL because part of that revenue gets redistributed to the governance token stakers. And then, of course, we're allowing in the future. We'll be allowing once Myriad X is live, we'll be allowing other currencies to be used as for purchasing on the network. Although there's going to be higher fees for different tokens. And for USDL, obviously, since it's a stable coins will get like a discount on the extra fees.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that definitely incentivizes using USDL there. Bigfoot, I saw you on mute. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, we're planning to give a bunch of it away. We're not only are we planning to use it as the currency for minting the NFTs, but again, a big part of the project will be earning those staking rewards in USDL and then redistributing to the community so they can use them in some of these other projects.
Love that. I think anybody that's going to be involved with Bigfoot Cryptos will be happy to hear that they'll be given some of it for free. Just curious, Justin, did you have anything additional that you wanted to add to the use of USDL?
There is one thing I haven't really touched up upon in the past, or at all really. So I recently bought a publicly traded company, and we're actually building a DApp on Legacy called Luda, and one of the main tokens that's going to be used on there is USDL, and it's a payment app, and it's gonna. I can't say too much because it's publicly traded. So, but yeah, we'll be utilizing USDL on our payment platform.
Awesome. Yeah, that's exciting to hear. I think everybody that has a hand on some USDL right now is going to be pretty excited to hear that. And same with the other projects as well. Planet Beast, did you have something that you wanted to add, or similar to the other projects?
Initially, I didn't have as much planned, but speaking to you, actually, it opened up some more doors for opportunities. Besides, being like a pairing on the Myriad decks for my token, I've decided that I'm planning on the next two generations of Planet Beasts. I didn't mention this earlier. Each of the six beasts have evolved forms, different generations, 2 and 3 that are different NFTs. I'm making so that if you buy them with USDL, you'll get a discount on the price. So that's just more of an incentive for people who want to participate in the first place, just to get an even better deal on top of the ability to use the USDL that they've been waiting to use.
Love that. That's definitely something to look forward to. I know right now you guys are minting in Ethereum on the Polygon chain, so that's exciting to hear for the next two generations as well. So I actually see we have a request on here. We're gonna finish up some of these pre-sent in questions, and then we'll get to some of the requests live here. So I know something a couple of you guys have mentioned is that you're partnered with each other and want to integrate with each other. And one of the questions was, what does that look like after when things are launched? Like, what's the picture for some of the partnerships that you guys have together? And I'll open that up to anybody.
I think Planet Beast and I both unmuted at the same time because I
Yeah.
think we've come up with what we're hoping is going to be an awesome combination because we both have games that are both featuring, battles and confrontations and things like that. We're going to cross integrate the characters from each of our NFT projects. So, for example, in the Bigfoot game, as you're playing the game and encountering other challenges and you've got other things that you have to battle or defend against, you could potentially walk into a clearing and as though through a wormhole, one of the Planet Beast characters appears and you will have to battle a Planet Beast character. Of course, if you win the battle, you'll get a special prize awarded to you within the game. But I think it's a great way to kind of show off another partner project and maybe draw some attention in that direction. Show some love to some of these other partner projects, and hopefully it'll be a pretty cool feature within the game.
Nice. I love that. That seems like a lot of fun running around as a Bigfoot and then all of a sudden an arrow dice pops up. Justin,
Exactly.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, no, I just wanted to say that sounds pretty cool. I didn't even know about that, so that's pretty cool, and sounds like you guys are building your own kind of crossover metaverse, multi metaverse or something. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the things that I wanted to be one of the highlights of my project, and it's cool being on Legacy, being so community focused. Just taking advantage of the transferability and ownerships that NFTs have. I feel like we forget that they can do more than just represent an image or an access to like a club or something. And the opportunity for that is open to mostly any project. I would like, for the projects that I'm partnered with to be themed as like some sort of beast or an animal, right? Like if a project comes onto onto Legacy blockchain that is like based on cars, that'd be kind of difficult to throw in to have a beast fight a car or something like that. But potentially the opportunity is open for any project to work with Planet Beast, essentially with the premise of having something in the game via a special encounter represent the partner project. And after you've accomplished that special encounter, you will receive a special NFT. It goes to your wallet, and the NFT will represent that partnered project which you would go to. So, like in the Bigfoot example, maybe you fight a Bigfoot or a Yeti in the snow region in Planet Beast, you receive a special NFT, and you can go to Bigfoot and receive something in the Bigfoot ecosystem. Um, Now that of course, if it's up to the partners and on how they would like to reward players in Planet Beast. And I don't know, maybe DeFi solutions like Penn could come up with a creative solution. If you hit a certain number, you could get a special Planet Beast NFT. But the opportunity is there, and I'm excited to continuing partnering with everybody and fleshing this out.
Yeah, don't forget. Let's not forget it. We also, and I think Planet Beast has done this as well. We own space in the Salsa Valley metaverse, so
Right.
we're linked to that project, and we'll be able to host some events there. We've got properties in the World Tower as well. So we've partnered with that project to show them off a little bit, maybe get some people over in there. So again, this goes back to what we were saying about it. It's such a great community being able to connect and show off some of the other projects. It's all coming together pretty nicely.
We're gonna party up in that tower, all of us. It'd be great.
That's right.
I love that. I love that. Did anybody else on here have any partnerships they wanted to talk about or what that looks like for them?
So I did mention a while ago. I mean, we're one of the things we offer is an NFT marketplace, and the other three guests on here are all NFT projects. So for sure, we want to be in bed with everybody. But there is something that we discussed before internally of like special access NFTs. So, for example, you have for this example, let's say a Bigfoot NFT or a Lazy Monsters NFT, right? And if you connect your wallet to the marketplace and it detects you have one of those NFTs, then you'd be able to go to this other marketplaces like specific for, maybe player exclusives or something like that. So that's something we were looking at for a different feature that we were building, but definitely that would be something great for NFT projects, and special it's like a special space inside the marketplace for them.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like a partnership that's destined to happen. Justin, you had something to add?
Sorry. Yeah. So kind of expanding on, Ben's project as a platform. So we also have our DeFi arm in Pendulum, and we have Meridex as well. So you know, uh, we've already talked to most of these projects, but we just kind of extend it to any of our core community projects that we can create a pair on Pendulum and help support some liquidity on the Miradex side for your projects. So just another thing to kind of collaborate on for everybody and add value and liquidity to everybody's project.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll definitely be necessary as things get started up. And that actually kind of leads into the next question. If you guys have a token for your project, just real quick, what is it? Just so everybody's aware. Okay,
Sorry,
go ahead.
yeah, I couldn't unmute. No, I mean, so we have the world token. Once we port over to Legacy, people who have the token, it's a reflection token essentially. But since all the sales and platform fees are paid in that token, as a holder, you do get reflections from the taxes and platform fees.
Great. Yeah, the world token. I actually hold a little bit of that myself. Bigfoot, what you got?
Well, of course, we're calling ours Bitcoin, but it will be primarily an internal token, which you can use to buy assets and mint new NFTs and stuff. But we're looking forward to seeing what else we can do with it. Like I said, one of those things you can do with it is give it back to the project to represent additional legacy staking. So, like I said, in that staking wallet, whether you just own an NFT or you want to increase the percentage of rewards that you get, you can use that token to do that as well. So we just want to see what else we'll be able to do with it once it's out there.
Love that. Gonna have to get myself some big token. Planet Beast, Lazy. Did you guys want to share about yours?
Yeah.
I think. Sorry, go on, mate. Go on.
I saw you good. All right.
All right, dude. I'll go if you want. So our token, like I said before, it's just going to be used for obviously betting on the platform. It's going to be lazy. Obviously because of Lazy Monster, lazy. And then say if there's another for the partnership side, say WGov wants to obviously use their token. Obviously we take a small fee, which is how us as a team actually get paid. Because I think it's important for projects to work out how it's actually a business, which is something that Justin obviously taught us is you can't just have a project. It needs to be an actual working business and not just speculation and hype, which is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense 100%. Planet Beast?
Alrighty. Yeah, so all of the initial thoughts behind our token was to just give as much utility as possible. But before we go into that, yeah, so it's called Essence. Essentially, there's a bunch of different creatures on the planet, but only a select few are able to draw the literal energy or essence of the planet to do some crazy things in the game. And those would be the 6Bs. So the token's name is called Essence, ESNC. Thankfully, it wasn't taken. And just to give the token a lot of utility, the current plans are staking your essence, obviously for yield in the essence token. Staking essence will also enable you to unlock special in-game features that other people won't have if they're not staking. Being able to use the essence token to acquire in-game items, both the resources, the base resources, as well as the actual items that the resources can be crafted into. Using it to purchase the characters of Gen 2 and Gen 3. Governance voting, which, upon creation of a token can be implemented from the get-go. Using the Essence token to secure your spot in the player versus player arena tournaments. So when we have a really big event where everybody fights each other, they have to, put up a small amount of Essence to be able to join as an entry fee. And it obviously will be used also for rewards for the play to earn system and rewards for winning the tournament. And lastly, I want to implement something called territories, where each beast can have like their own small slice of Elementus, their own territory. And the only way to actually craft the items, as I mentioned before, will be to own a territory. So that'll be the place where you craft, and in a sense of imbuing the items that you're crafting with essence, with the energy, it would also require essence tokens. So just kind of chock filling it full of use cases, and making it as valuable as I can.
Yeah, it sounds like you really thought about it all and figuring out a way to make that useful in the game and everything. Justin, did you want to share about Loot Up or?
I can't too much, but
Okay.
yeah, I can. Sorry.
Yeah, I know you had mentioned it earlier, so I just didn't want to move on without asking. So
yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I got SEC lawyers. Anyway, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep, completely understandable. So we can move on to the last question I have on here for some of the projects, and this came from the Bigfoot community, is how have you had to adapt to some of the timeline changes with Legacy? I know it's a very open-ended question, but any insight would be great to hear. Bigfoot?
Yeah, so I know some of the other projects initially started on different blockchains and are converting over, which is just fabulous. I think that's a great move for them. We were wholly committed to launching originally on Legacy, but based on my experience, I have not been overly concerned with minor delays in the effort to get the blockchain tight and working perfectly and all of that. So we've been utilizing the extra time to advance our roadmap. We've kind of accelerated into uh, creating the female NFTs and the baby versions of the NFTs, which were both supposed to come after the initial launch, but we've kind of accelerated that. So now our initial launch is going to include all three of those, which is good because now we can kick in some of the other features like mating and growing and things like that. We're also we started work on developing the game, and hopefully I'll be able to release some alpha simulated game footage here pretty soon. Again, we're not sitting around waiting. We're being patient, which is great, but we're using the time to build in additional features that we had planned for, being down the road a little bit, and it just means we get to release those a little earlier. So that's how we're dealing with it.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things to hammer out. I was laughing at the idea of baby Bigfoots because baby Bigfoots are not something I've ever thought about in my life. I love the visual that I have going here.
There are
So
many
yeah,
photographs of the
it
big,
sounds like
but they got to be out there, right?
right. Yeah, I mean, if there's Bigfoots, there's got to be little Bigfoots, right? There's got to be baby Bigfoots.
Well,
Are little Bigfoots like normal people sized?
say that again. I'm sorry.
Are baby Bigfoots normal people size feet?
Yeah. I didn't put a
Yeah.
scale on the NFTs, but they're actually, as babies, they start off 6 feet tall. So,
Nice. Okay.
but actually, now that we've mentioned it, the baby Bigfoots are actually an opportunity that we wanted to offer for a second price point. And again, that's something maybe some of the Discord community knows. But what we're going to do is the adult Bigfoots, which are actually your pass to get into the game and play the game, et cetera, et cetera. If you're not interested in the game or you just need a lower price point, The baby Bigfoots will be offered at a lower price point. And if you decide later you want to grow it into an adult so that you can play the game, well, then that opportunity is out there. So again, we wanted to offer a few different characters, even in the first drop. And the baby Bigfoots did turn out to be pretty cute. So hopefully people see that as an opportunity to get in for a little bit less if you wanted to.
Yeah, I love that. It sounds like you've really made good use of the time. Did anybody else have anything else they wanted to add in terms of adapting for the timeline changes?
Yeah, I was also gonna answer the actual question. This is the baby Bigfoots. It's got me. Yeah, no, we continue to network with other chains, work on plans for the development and everything. Um, I mean, we're not letting it. We're not just waiting for everything as well. We're moving forward. It's the same as what we planned for. You know, if a bear market hits, what are we gonna do? That kind of thing. Um, yeah, because as Justin mentioned before, you know, we don't want to like do things with legacy and then just stay there. We want to move forward with other chains and be multi-chain, and then maybe legacy and those other chains can do something together too. Like that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I love that. That makes sense, and I think it's important that the some of the timeline changes have happened. It helps really make things perfect on the legacy network end, but in the future it'll probably help mitigate any hardship that might come down the road. Just making sure everything's right. So it's a good call right there. Did anybody else have anything else they wanted to add, or should we move on and open it up? Lazy Monsters, what you got?
I don't know. I think Justin knows what we've been working on, but it's to help Legacy also. So I don't think it's right for me to say it publicly. But Justin knows what's going on. That's all good.
Okay, perfect. And Justin, I saw you unmute for a second there.
Yeah, no, I mean, just kind of touching up on things we said in the past, and we apologize for the delays, but we're also very encouraged to see everyone, keeping busy and still progressing the project. So, yeah, just wanted to say, I'm happy with what everybody's been doing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know I'm personally excited to get my Lazy Monsters out there racing through the Squid Games and all that. So perfect. So that was all of the pre-AMA questions that we had gotten, and I definitely want to get to some of the, or if any of questions, if anybody on the line here has questions. But I wanted to take a moment and talk about the 100,000 legacy giveaway we're going to do. So the way we're going to do that is, if you're listening live now, you are going to shoot a DM to the Diamond Atlas account to the answer of the question I'm going to ask. So I'll give you guys a second to prepare. But yeah, first one to correctly answer the question I asked by DMing the Diamond Atlas Twitter account is going to be the winner of 100,000 legacy. And we'll get that out to you. Make sure you have your legacy wallets all squared away so you guys can send over that address, and we'll get that over to you. So without further ado, the question is, and this one might be tricky for some of you, but what is the name of the creator of the legacy tip bot that was just created? What is the name of the creator of the legacy tip bot that was created in the Telegram group? So I will have my DMs open. Go ahead and shoot that over. First one to get it in and get it correct is going to be the winner of 100,000 legacy. So next up, I want to open it up to any questions from anybody that's listening in. So I know I had somebody that was requesting earlier. If anybody had anything, go ahead and share that now. Or did anybody on the panel have questions for anybody else on the panel in terms of their projects, what they've got going on, or maybe there's something that you've come across when building your project that you're curious about if they've come across that as well?
I have a question for Planet Beast. When does When is Nivea's dropping?
Great question. So currently I'm waiting just for the artist to get back to me. Um, I don't know why he's being kind of slow. He ended up giving me the full roster of different traits that'll be placed on Niveus when people mint and to get different variations. But I asked for a couple of revisions. But it's been like 2 or 3 days. I did ask for like 8 revisions and then a rework on 2 or 3 things additionally on top of that. So I was just giving him a few days to do that. So I'm gonna follow up today. Hopefully, I'll get that back within the next 2 to 3 days, and then I can give that. I can run all the images in my NFT generator, get all the images, and then give that to my dev. So I'm shooting for the first 10-ish days of May, because I believe when I finally just give it to my dev, that takes like maybe a day or two. It's real quick. So hopefully, yeah, within the first 10 days of May, and then the fourth one will be coming, Aerodise. No, fifth Aerodise will be coming very shortly after that as well.
Hey, sorry, Diamond Atlas, someone messaged me they can't message you on Twitter.
I wonder if it's because they're not following us. I thought I made sure our messages are open. I know I've got 5 DMs here
Let me ask.
already. Yeah, but we can. Did anybody else have any other questions for anybody else on the panel?
Yeah, for World Token.
Yeah, go for it.
What are your, I guess, next moves going forward? Just like what's down in the pipeline for the overall marketplace.
So probably the next step is we gotta get WGov tradable. So once that's up and running, we're gonna go forward with. Sorry, we're gonna go forward with the porting over the legacy so that we have the marketplace on the network and people can start transacting. Opening up stuff. And then we got to bridge some tokens over so that it can be tradable and used on the marketplace while keeping the someone's typing. So while keeping the I lost my trail of thought. We got to bridge over so that while keeping the supply in the same, right? So WGov listing, followed by deploying the marketplace on Legacy, and then followed by the token going on Legacy.
Nice, awesome, all great stuff. Good to hear. Thanks.
Sure.
Ben, is the marketplace ultimately is going to be? Is it going to be multi-chain, dual chain? What happens to the old or previous items that were on the marketplace?
Oh, so yeah. No, the previous items, let's say you have listings or you're selling stuff on BSC right now, you'd still be able to do that. And then once we have the legacy version, once you're connected to legacy, then it's like a different batch of items that's on legacy.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
And will there be metadata as well on some of the NFTs?
Yes.
Awesome.
So that should connect to the NFTs itself and display the metadata from there.
Nice, perfect. Lazy, you had something?
Yeah, I got a question for Justin. Justin, you there?
Hey, what's up?
When are we flipping Solana?
I can neither comment on that or give it any attention.
It was a good effort.
I knew that was coming. I knew something was like that was coming.
It was a good effort. Did anybody else have any other questions? Bigfoot, did you already ask your question?
Yeah, that was it. My question was the one for Ben about the cross chain.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I saw your hand up. Planet Beast, did you have anything else to add? I thought I saw you on mute for a second.
Yeah, for Justin. I know a lot of the current focus is strengthening the system and hardening it. That way it can launch flawlessly. And I think that's something that's super underrated. So I just want to know how that was going. And I'm not a developer, so I don't know how to quantify progress of security, but I'm just interested in that. I really appreciate security and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the biggest hurdles was making sure Hotbit got integrated, and that was kind of a major funnel for us. We have been working, across the board on everything, but that was something that was really not holding us back, but um, what's this? It's just one thing leads to another, and we really needed that open swap two ways from a centralized source, and a way to list other tokens, LRC20 tokens on there. But as far as security, it's one of those things you have to self audit and send it off to be audited again, and it's a whole process. And when you're building something new, you can try to give estimates and ETAs as much as possible, but uh, like I said, for something that's never been done, it's hard to really say for sure, and there will always be hardening the network, and always be building more security into it. So uh, yeah, that's kind of how we've been going about it. In the future, as we get more data in, then we can obviously patch up any new holes we get in the future. But we really need to, just have a lot of people use it, and that's the best way to harden the network in the long run.
And yeah, that's a good point that I didn't even realize. Like me oversimplifying is like you go to someone to audit the stuff. It's like, hey, you audit stuff, right? It's like, yeah. And you're good with all the chains you know how to audit? Yeah. All right, here's a completely new one you've never seen before. Let me get one. Good luck.
Exactly. Right. Right. And then when you go to audits, the way it works is you tell them what you're trying to accomplish, and they say whether you accomplish that or not. But it's not, you know, for example, other chains have had plenty audits and been exploited to infinity, So it's like I said, it's a new thing. We're just trying to make sure we do our due diligence, times 10, because we all have skin in the game, and we want to be responsible to you guys as well, and the community and community of developers. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you really can't be too careful on these kind of things.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's how an audit works. That you tell them like what you're trying to accomplish and they tell you whether you did that or not. So I guess that doesn't really like mean that they go through every little tiny thing and try to fix things. I guess something of
Right.
that is more along the lines of like what is the thing, like a hackathon? Like people try to hack it and you reward them like a bounty, something like that.
Yeah, a bounty. That's what it is. And also, just from general network usage, you'll kind of see certain things. I mean, you can definitely patch up, the big holes, and you can, like, I'm not trying to scare everybody, but this is just kind of how it works, for everybody. Uh,
Right.
yeah, but like I said, that's why we'll see. Not trying to mention any names, but some of these big chains get shut down or exploited, or hacked. No, not really hacked, but just exploited. Um, it kind of made us triple down on everything and make sure we're being responsible to everybody, putting their time and their money into this.
If no one else has a question, I got one more. Or if we need to wrap it up, that's fine too.
Yeah, go for it.
And one more thing, Justin. The Miradex is a decentralized exchange. Is that all it is? Like you just swap, or are there other features to that other than just swapping from one to another on the legacy network?
So yeah, it's meant to just be an exchange, but where we kind of differ, we're trying to innovate, is we're pairing everything against USDL rather than Ethereum on Uniswap, for example. So what happens on Uniswap is you pair it, say $100,000 with Ethereum and $100,000 worth of your token, and if Ethereum goes up or down, it it affects your project, right? It affects every project that's on Uniswap. Uh, price movements in Ethereum. And by pairing it to something stable instead of, something like Ethereum, every project's growth is on its own. It's unaffected, kind of decoupling from the market. And that's not price talk. It's just fundamentals.
That's super interesting. Awesome. Great. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all been great. I mean, it's great to hear directly from the creator of the chain, like, things that are going on and kind of the thinking behind it, especially with Myriad X and all that. So I took a moment to take a look at for the giveaway, and you were correct. Looks like our DMs were closed, but luckily, uh, our winner is actually gonna be. Well, okay, I'll say this. Justin was actually the first one to DM us and get that in there.
I
But
know.
it feels appropriate to choose the next place winner. And after looking at the times of when people actually decided to reply to the tweet instead of DMing, which props to you guys for figuring that out. We have a winner. I'm going to do my best to pronounce your at. It looks like Ravasan City. Congratulations, you're our winner for the 100,000 legacy, not $100,000 in legacy. So I'm really excited about that.
They're on the call too.
Oh, perfect, yeah. So congrats, you are our winner for the 100,000 legacy. And just for a heads up, we're going to do another giveaway this evening, evening for me anyways. For our second AMA, we're going to be giving away another 100 USDL. We have another 100,000 legacy to give away then. So congratulations to our two winners there. If I'll give one last second. Did anybody else have any questions that they wanted to throw at our panel, or we good to wrap this one up?
Yeah, I received the DM community question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
From the legend himself, from In the Making. All right, let's take a moment to thank him. He asks what the utility of loot is. Very plain and simple.
I didn't quite catch that. Could you say that again?
Yeah, he says very simply, what is the utility of loot?
Oh, gotcha. So, question for Justin.
Oh yeah. I can't talk too much on Loot Up. Loot Up has to be. I can't say anything unless I talk to the board about it. So, but we'll have some news out that on our socials very soon.
Nice. The fact there's a board, that makes it really official. That's really cool to hear. That's awesome.
Justin, will the announcements about that project be on the Legacy announcements Telegram?
No. It's although we're building on Legacy, it's a separate company.
Okay, so you haven't released links or anything like that for any kind of support or informational groups?
We've been releasing articles on traditional channels like Bloomberg, and it releases to kind of like a basket of publications, Yahoo Finance, etc. So all the information is just what those articles are saying, and it's under Quantum International. That's the parent company, and then Loot Up is the dApp being built on Legacy for Quantum.
No Loot Legion yet.
Not yet. No looters yet.
Love that. And so, Justin, one quick question for you from me is how's it been doing some of the media you've been doing? It's been great to see it. Like these more, say, official outlets for getting the word out there about Legacy Network, and it's been really cool to see like the clips just come up online and see all that. So how's that been for you and also for Wes?
Well, personally, I'm pretty introverted, so I don't like talking live or doing interviews or even my social media. It's very minimum. But so I've been kind of like easing into it. This is just the start. We have a ton more planned than just that. I just wanted to, slowly start the interviews, and the rest of the marketing plan is being rolled out. But yeah, it's been, besides all that, being introverted and all that, it's growing on me. It's cool to kind of get out there in the public and talk to real faces. As much as online is great, and I prefer it. Yeah, it's just for an internet kid like me, it's been a good experience, and I'm actually looking forward to it going forward.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been cool to see, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everything else that goes out. So we'll go ahead and close this out. But before we do, I just wanted to give everyone on the panel just a moment to share anything they're currently working on. I know we heard from Planet Beast, and he's got Nevaeus, and I think he said Aerodice coming out, looks like in May. And I just wanted to open it up and let you guys share about anything you guys are working on right now in the moment that you guys are excited to share about.
Well, like I said, we're starting in on the game at this point, and it'll be a first-person 3D battle puzzle adventure kind of game developed on Unity. But I'm looking forward to letting some of that alpha footage out so you can see what you can expect. And hopefully, enjoy that.
Awesome. Planet Beast, did you? Oh, Justin, you're on mute.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say we actually have something we planned, and can actually say right now. We're going to be running billboard ads in Times Square and some other cities, and we just wanted to extend the invitation for all of the community projects to send us their logo, and we can get them up, everybody up with us.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot more eyes on us very soon.
That is awesome.
That is massive.
Let's
Wow.
go.
That
Yes.
is insane. That's very cool. I feel like that's where we ended off. Unless anybody had some last minute things they want to share, I don't think it gets any bigger than that.
No, that was kind of a mic drop in my view.
Right. No, I just wanted to say that all 6 beasts will be done in about 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, gonna have a big marketing push. Things are gonna start ramping up. So it's really cool to have this AMA and to hear that kind of news. But yeah, I think for all of us, we're all really excited to move forward, and everybody who's here supporting, just be on the lookout because things are happening.
Definitely. Yeah. Once again, thank you everybody for joining the AMA. Thank you to our panel, Planet Beast, Justin, Bigfoot Cryptoids, World Token, Lazy Monster Space Club. I want to thank all of you guys for jumping on here, sharing about your projects, what you're excited most about Legacy, and thank you for the Legacy community for showing up. Looking forward to having our next AMA. It's going to happen at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's 7 p.m. PST. Once again, I said it at the beginning, I'm not familiar enough with the other time zones, but if you guys want to hop on there, we're gonna have a couple other guests on there, and obviously each of you guys are all welcome back to come share about your projects again. Thank you again, appreciate it, and congratulations again to our giveaway winners. I'll talk to you guys soon. Yeah, and feel free to join the Diamond Atlas Discord if you have any more questions regarding Legacy or anything we're up to. Looking forward to chatting with all you guys. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys. Thanks for having us.
Peace.